Good evening, everyone. I'd kindly like to ask everyone who is in the room to kindly take your seat so that we can begin this evening's proceedings. Ladies and gentlemen, the Prime Minister of Jamaica, the Most Honorable Andrew Holness, please make him welcome. Good evening, sir. Welcome. Please be seated. It's a different protocol. Thank you so very much. Please be seated. Permit us to break protocol as we welcome the graduates.
Hey, follow me now, see you now. Hey, upset her. See how upset her. Go outside there. Running. I'm a winner. You know the guy. I'm a winner. Hey, watch out now. I'm on the sun. Oh, we're winning right now, you say we're winning right now. If we get a trophy to what we living right now, cause I'm winning right now, yeah. And I'm chilling right now, cause oh, we're winning right now. On Thanksgiving right now, cause we're winning right now, yeah. I'm winning. I'm winning. Hey, I'm a walking W. Learn from the else. Turn them in a medal in a trophy and bells. Every day you see me with the pan on next film. Break records like we cracking eggshells. And every single ounce of effort we expel. It's all about progress, cause we have to excel. I watch them looking like success, we dress well. Another knockout for the ring the next bell. I'm about to send my haters a card to get well, cause I'm sick of it. I'm so sick of it, but that's the whole gist of it. I hate in the beauty when we did not have it, cause I'm winning. I'm winning. I'm winning. Oh, we're winning right now, baby. Say we're winning right now. Me forget that trophy to what we living right now. Cause I'm winning right now, yeah. And I'm chilling right now. Cause oh, we're winning right now. living right now, yeah. I say we're winning right now. So every day you see me, we are the reigning champ. And at the cloud with the silver line we reigning from. Cause if you see some of the places where we hailing from, it's just the type of place we should be failing from. But now we're winning. Yes, every quarter, every inning. Multiple tracks and then a for swimming. You know that there's no giving in no matter the circumstances we living in. You hear me? I'm winning. I'm winning. I'm winning. Oh, we're winning right now, yeah. Say we're winning right now. We forget that trophy to what we living right now. Cause I'm winning right now, yeah. And I'm chilling right now. Cause
Ladies and gentlemen, the graduating class of 2022. Now, ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the playing of the national anthem. Thank you. Please be seated. The Most Honorable Andrew Holness, Prime Minister of Jamaica, Mr. Hugh Graham, MP, Shadow Minister, Commerce, Science and Technology, His Excellency Masakui Rungsung and Mrs. Rungsung, Ambassador, High Commissioner of India, Mr. Dushyant Savadia, Founder and CEO, Amber Heart Academy, Mrs. Savadia, we welcome you as well. Professor Alvin Wint and Mrs. Novlet Denton Prince. Professor Wint is the chairman of the Heart NSTA Trust, and Mrs. Novlet Denton Prince, the managing director of Heart NSTA Trust. Mrs. Jean Laurie Chin, chairman, Digicel Foundation. Mr. Jabor Kayumov, CEO, Digicel Group. Mrs. Thalia Lynn, chairman, NCB Foundation. Ms. Nadine Matthews-Blair, Chief Digital and Marketing Officer, NCB. Mr. Akeem Henry, valedictorian. Other key stakeholders, parents, guardians, friends of the media, to the viewers who are tuned in via our live stream, and our graduates, the winning team, good evening. Parents, guardians, graduates, celebrants, good evening. Yes, man. Let me explain something to you. When we think about Jamaica and we think about the Olympics and the World Championship, we're excited. We get with pot covers, we get with colors, we go down a halfway tree, we look on the big thing, on the big digital board, yes? And when we see Jamaicans doing amazing jobs and representing us at the highest level, with skin just crawl with goosebumps and we feel good, yes? Then if we are in the presence of, there should be 27, but there are 25 graduates who, despite odds, despite obstacles, and despite many things that people might have told them that were not possible, are now seated here as graduates. I think that is a big deal. So maybe we never bring no pot cover, yeah? But each time we think about them and we think about the journey and we think about the entities that fund this, that come together to make this possible, I don't want us to treat it like it's a dege thing. Are you on the same page with me? You're on the same page with me. Welcome to the Amber Heart Academy. I am, well, the graduation ceremony, that is. I am Dr. Terry Carell Reed, and I'm pleased to stand before you in the capacity of host. This is an auspicious occasion. So much so I went and got the same color as the cap, Andy. And I said, I'm not coming in a suit, I'm coming in a nicely fitted dress with a big rosette because it is a big... All right, talk to me now, man. Now, about 2 weeks ago, I hosted an event, and it was the Senator, the Honorable Aubin Hill, who has renamed himself as the Minister of Business, who said that if you want to know where the Prime Minister will be, all you have to do is look for Terry Carell because she'll be hosting the event. Now, I tried to prove him wrong, but then I've come here, and who is our guest speaker? I want to make it very clear for everyone here, especially his security detail, that I am not stalking the Prime Minister. I never have. And I promise I may never. But my grandmother said never say never. But I will say that my clients have a very high standard, and as such, you find that we align. Oh, you guys think I'm stalking him? Is that what you guys think is happening? I cannot wait to talk about the reason we are here and what makes this group of graduates so special. I cannot wait to talk about the work that Amber has done, the collaboration, the partnership it has with Heart, and where we go from here. But before we do that, in the true style of our culture and our tradition, we have to give God thanks for his mercies and his blessings that have endureth and have taken us through. So at this time, I'd like to invite Mr. Mark Johnson of the Amber Group to kindly do the prayer. Please make him welcome.
Thank you. Let us pray. Dear God, Almighty God, God of our salvation, God of our life, we are here this afternoon. We are here on this occasion, coming to you with prayer. Lord, we acknowledge your ever-presence, your supreme presence in our life. Lord, we come this afternoon with a thankful heart. Come this afternoon giving you thanks for your guidance, for your protection, for your care, for your love that you have extended to us throughout the years and to the life of all that are gathered here today. Lord, we want to just continue to lift up your name in everything that we do. Lord, we want to put everyone here before you. We want to put everything that will happen and put you at the center. And Lord, this afternoon, I pray for each and every one that is gathered here this afternoon. I pray for this country. I pray for the leaders, for the government. I pray for every institution. I pray for the Heart Trust NSTA. I pray that they'll continue to do good. I pray for all the workers of this institution. I pray for the Amber Group of Company and its founder. I pray that you'll continue to bless us as we continue to do the work and to inspire life and develop each and every one. And Lord, especially those, the men, the women that are gathered here, a part of the graduating team, I pray that you'll continue to lead and direct them. Lord, I pray that you'll bless them in a very special way. Help them to navigate the future positively with pride and with great success. Allow them, help them to be example to others, to their colleagues, to the community and the country at large. Lord, we bless your name and we give thanks for the institution that will be unveiled today. We pray that it will grow from strength to strength and impact more life. God bless this event. God bless this country. God bless us all. And in your name, it is through you that we are winning tonight. God be praised. Amen.
If the prayer touched you, you can clap, you can say amen. God is good all the time. His prayer nearly make me shabba-bo-bo-bo. Thank you so very much. I would like to acknowledge the presence of the Honorable Favour Williams, Minister of Education and Youth. Welcome, welcome. Now, as I mentioned earlier, the Prime Minister is our keynote speaker, and I've had the privilege of listening to his various speeches over the years, and there is something that is absolutely consistent with everything he says. Jamaica is more than sea and sun and fun. We are more than athletics. We are more than gastronomy. We have the ability to become the hub where people come to us to outsource us for our talent, to outsource us for our knowledge, and for there to be knowledge exchange. We have the desire, but we also have the possibility of creating more jobs for our young people. So each time I've listened to the Prime Minister, he has spoken about economic growth, he has spoken about job creation, he's spoken about really paying attention to the new generation and the next generation. There are individuals and organizations and companies who like to sit and criticize. We find fault and we find the gaps, but we do not step in to see how we can find the solution. I'm here to really commend Mr. Savadio and the Amber Group. Oh, gosh. Because here is a man and here is a group that said, we have the talent, we have youngsters, they just need the resources. We're going to fund it. And when I had the conversation with Mr. Savadio, what he said was, this whole hard collaboration with Amber, this was just going to be like a pilot program. And he said he would rather try and possibly fail, but he would learn than not try at all. So he said, whatever the cost, whatever the bill, Amber Group will meet it. And we will take in youngsters, we will train them, we will upskill them, and at the end of the day, they will not just get a paper at graduation, they will also get employment. They're not just getting the paper, they're not just getting the employment, but during the very intense year that they have been in the academy, they've also developed fully functional, operational applications. I don't think you understand. So we're not just looking at mere graduates, ladies and gentlemen. We're not looking at no pian-pian. We're not dealing with a dege business. We are looking at coding engineers, graduate. You better put some respect on their name. And for people who think it's just a simple little course where they come up with a little certificate, it is a level 3, and you need to understand that the only other level above that is a level 4. I say this to say, you have people who talk and you have people who do. You have people who decide that they're going to be the movers and the shakers and the investors, and they put their money, they put their pockets, their time, their energy, and their effort behind it. So I just want to say big up to the Amber Group. And to the Heart NSTA Trust for really facilitating this kind of certification. So let us hear more about this overview. So I just kind of gave you just the opening remarks, but we want to find out the meat. And so at this time, I'd like to invite Novlet Denton Prince, Managing Director, Heart NSTA Trust, to provide the overview.
Most Honorable Andrew Holness, Prime Minister of Jamaica, the Honorable Favour Williams, Minister of Education, Youth and Information, Mr. Hugh Graham, Shadow Minister, Ministry of Commerce, Science and Technology, the Honorable Masuki Ronsung and Mrs. Ronsung, Ambassador, High Commission of India, Mr. Dushant Savadia and Mrs. Katerina Savadia, founder and CEO, Amber Group, Professor Wint, Chairman, Hart NSTA, Mrs. Jean Laurie Chin, Chairman, Digicel Foundation, Mr. Jabbar Kayunov, CEO, Digicel Group, Mrs. Thalia Lin, Chairman, NCB Foundation, Nadine Matthews-Blair, Chief Digital and Marketing Officer, NCB, Dr. Tamisha Ingleton, Managing Director Designate, Hart NSTA Trust, Mr. Akeem Henry, valedictorian, key stakeholders, parents, and most importantly, graduates, good evening. In responding to the national priorities of the government of Jamaica, the Hart NSTA Trust, with its mission to enhance human development, has increased its responsiveness to industries through meaningful partnerships. Armed with local and international research statistics and analysis that showed significant growth in coding and related industries, the organization began discussions with technology giant Amber Group in August 2020. One research expert for the consumer electronics industry, Lionel Sujay Vail Sherry, said, and I quote, "In 2022, IT spending on enterprise software is expected to amount around $672 billion worldwide, a growth of 11% from the previous year. The COVID-19 global pandemic further acts as a catalyst of growth in the software sector as initially feared," end of quote. Enterprise software respond to the needs of the organizations while specifically addressing the efficiency of their core business processes. Many enterprise software subsegments, such as business process management, BPM software, enterprise resource planning, ERP software, and customer relationship management, CRM software, have grown into massive markets in their own right. And so, inspired by the realities, the Trust and the Amber Group successfully signed an MOU in December 2020. This MOU will see Jamaica benefiting significantly from an industry that is geometrically expanding. This partnership created a revolution that would not only increase training and certification in software development, but also meet the demands of the industry while simultaneously satisfying the quests of many Jamaican youth in finding their niche in the IT industry. This partnership is a match made in heaven, with the ultimate outcome of strategically positioning Jamaica to become the hub of software development in the Caribbean. There were many teething pains as we worked on getting it right. Right, Deshaun? But the focus remained true to create a group of outstanding innovators, top coding professional leaders, and well-rounded individuals. The Heart Amber Initiative has provided an excellent opportunity to tailor the Trust's software development training program to meet the demands of the workforce and leverage international talent for higher value IT skills. It has created a steady base of knowledge transfer and a seamless integration of curriculum. The decision to partner with Amber Group has therefore undoubtedly enhanced the capacity of Heart NSTA Trust to upskill our youth and labor force to meet the needs of this fast emerging knowledge-based digital economy. Today, we proudly present the first batch of graduates. Yes. 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 That successfully completed training under the pilot project, which commenced in January 2021. They benefited and gained extensive knowledge in technologies such as PHP, JavaScript, API development, SQL, and were able to develop practical consumer interfacing solutions, including a blood donation management system, bike rental application, HR management system, classroom management system, e-commerce website, among others, while engaging in personal development initiatives to bolster the soft skills that are so critical to the world of work. Honorable Prime Minister, board members in the audience, my colleagues, employers, parents, well-wishers, I now present a total of approximately 27 graduates, all trained and certified to international standards. These graduates will be directly transitioning into the world of work, where they will gain employment at companies including private sector giants such as Digicel, NCB, and of course the Amber Group. This is a significant milestone to be celebrated and lauded, especially because this initiative defied and outlasted COVID-19. To the hard-working, dedicated team of the Strategic Partnerships Department, the Eastern TVET Institute Stony Hill Campus, and the Amber Group, I thank you for a productive first year and look to celebrate many more years like this.
But we also have females in the group. A lot of the times, when we speak about technologists and coding and engineer, I hear Mrs. Denton Price talk about PHP and JavaScript. Did you hear the things she called out? A, B, C, D, E, F, G. I got HR management, I heard her say office management, and I heard her say personal development. But I want you to understand that a lot of the times when we speak about technology and ICT, you know, it has a gender. It's usually, you know, associated with males. It is so good to see that we have females in this group with the men as well, because it is showing you the progress and it is showing you the exposure that our girls are also getting. So it's fantastic to see the two genders in this graduating class. Congratulations to you guys as well. So we want to hear more. We have the funding, we have the platform, we have the collaborators like your NCB and your digital group that comes on and says, that's no problem. They're certified, they're trained, bring them. We will employ them. But we want to hear more. And I had the privilege of hearing this gentleman give a keynote just about 2 weeks ago at the Outsource to Jamaica luncheon. The Professor Dr. Alvin Wint, Chair of the Board of Directors, Heart NSTA Trust, and he's here to deliver his greetings. Please make him welcome.
Thank you so very much, Master of Ceremonies. The Most Honorable Andrew Honis, Prime Minister of Jamaica. The Honorable Favor Williams, the Honorable Masuki Rungseng and Mrs. Rungseng. Those are the salutations for which I have been provided, but me too, I want to mention Mr. Alok Jain and Miss Merle Donaldson. Education Transformation Commission, who has dedicated efforts over the last several years to take us to this point where we are today. Permit me to also mention the Deputy Managing Director of Heart NSTA, Miss Kamisha Campbell, who has been an absolute force in moving us to this point. And we also have directors of Heart NSTA in our audience. I saw Professor Audrey Henry Lee. I see Dr. Director Robertson. There may be others. But all of these individuals have been working so hard to get us to where we are. But I really want to spend time today congratulating our graduates. It is such a pleasure to see you here today, to see what you have accomplished. Congratulations. I really feel so good, so excited about what you have achieved. And I'm really happy that Heart NSTA has been a part of this process. I just prepared my remarks for our annual report, and I point out in those remarks that in 2020, the Jamaica Tourism Commission adopted a new tagline for Jamaica, heartbeat of the world. And we know why, the effervescence and the quality of the Jamaican people. Well, of course I say, if Jamaica is the heartbeat of the world, do we need to ask what institution is the heartbeat of Jamaica? We do not, it just is obvious. And I know, Prime Minister, that you are with me on this one. because the Prime Minister, I've heard him say that there is an institution in this country that is embedded inside him, and that institution close to heart, and he makes sure he's going to travel with it, regardless of his portfolio responsibility. So, Prime Minister, we really do appreciate the interest that you have taken in heart, and I'm so impressed in the passion that the Prime Minister has for this organization. I've chaired and been involved in board directorships for a long time in Jamaica, and it's not that regular an occurrence to have your responsible minister initiating dialogue with the board. I've only been chairman of HEART for 4.5 months, and there have been 3 such instances of the Prime Minister initiating dialogue with us, and I really recognize how important he sees his organization. And HEART has been very busy. In 4.5 months, this is my 7th occasion in which I'm bringing remarks on behalf of HEART, and because we really are out there and we are engaged. And in those remarks, I've tried to position our particular situation in the context of history, and just to provide some context to where we are, because I think it's so important that we understand we're always standing on the shoulders of others. And today, my story is a historical reflection, not as long in history as the first one that I engaged in on the 3rd of February, and I went back 5,000 years to 3,000 years before Christ when Joseph introduced taxation, and trying to help our stakeholder group understand that we have to have their representation, otherwise we'll fall foul of the challenges that resulted in the American War of Independence. But I'm only going back 30 years today, or 30 or so years. In 1991, Prime Minister Rao became the Prime Minister of India. And he encountered an economic crisis in that country. And he realized that he needed high-quality help. So he turned to an apolitical technocrat, for his choice as Minister of Finance, inducted him suddenly into the position of Minister of Finance. This individual, Manmohan Singh, was a brilliant man, standing first in his class throughout his educational career in India, and then going off to Cambridge and obtaining a doctorate in economics, coming back to India. He was inducted into the position of Minister of Finance in 1991. And I said to myself as I reflected on this, I wonder if we can think of another country in the world where a prime minister suddenly inducted an apolitical technocrat who had come first in his class all throughout his studies and then gone to Oxbridge to do a doctorate, inducted into the position of Minister of Finance. And I think I've found such a country, Prime Minister. You know, there's a circularity to the world that we do need to understand. So anyway, Manmohan Singh is seized of the importance of liberalizing the Indian economy, which for years had been very protectionist and had been growing extremely slowly, much slower than its peers. And so he began the process of liberalizing the economy in 1991. In 1992, I had the opportunity to travel to India as a part of a World Bank advisory mission, looking to see how the World Bank could provide advice on the implementation of the liberalization program. And I was immediately seized of some of the challenges associated with a long history of protectionism and a lack of competition. Because as I got into the taxi at the airport, it was a car called the Ambassador. I said to the driver, I'm so impressed with how well you have maintained this car. Because it was a car in the mold of the 1950s, the 1950s Morris Oxford. And this was 1992. I said, this guy has done a fantastic job of preserving this car so nicely over the last 40 years or so. And the man looked at me with extreme concern and angst. This is a brand new car. What had happened was that because of a lack of competition, because of the inability to bring investments into the country out of a concern that investment would take away from local enterprise activities, and no competition even within the domestic marketplace because of a cartelization process where you'd have different companies that would focus on different segments of the market. The company that was producing the Ambassador, Hindustan Motors, had really no incentive to upgrade its machinery and equipment. So in 1992, it was using the same molds to produce the Ambassador that it had licensed from Morris Oxford in the 1950s. And it really struck me the importance of getting economic policy right as a platform for creating a demand for training. And Manmohan Singh and Prime Minister Rowe got it right. The liberalization process was highly successful. Growth in India was almost double over the 20 years from 1991 to 2019 as it had been for the previous 20 years, 1964 to 1991 inclusive. The Indian automotive industry was dramatically transformed. And in 2008, there was an Indian automotive company called Tata. We're familiar with that company in Jamaica because they used to sell buses here. The buses weren't the most modern of buses. They transformed. And in 2008, that Indian automotive company called Tata purchased Land Rover and Jaguar, two premium UK brands, for $2.3 billion, coming out of this process of economic liberalization. But it goes beyond that, because as the economy was transformed and you were able to bring in more foreign ideas, more foreign capital, there was an unleashing of entrepreneurial activity in India. And, there's a company that we know of well called Xerox. And Xerox had a joint venture in India called Xerox Modi. It was started in the 1980s. And subsequent to the liberalization process, Xerox Modi was transformed. Xerox became the leading shareholder. And in 1999, a young gentleman called Dushyant, if my information is correct, around that time would have had his first job at Xerox India. Am I correct? Taking advantage of this new system that was allowing an infusion of ideas from all over the world and unleashing energy. And that base that Dushyant was able to capture with his experience in Xerox India. Was it 1999? It was exactly 1999? Wow. I didn't have the date, but I knew that 1999 was when there was the Xerox got the majority interest. We are seeing the circularity of that process here today, where Dushyant has been an absolute transformer, recognizing the importance of unleashing entrepreneurial energy everywhere. And we're so happy that he has decided that the home base from which he's going to unleash that entrepreneurial energy is here in Jamaica, a country with which he has clearly fallen in love. So my message today is that, like India, Jamaica has to ensure that the demand side of the equation is there so that you have a need for skills. And we've been doing that in Jamaica. As our Madam Chairperson has said, this has really been the Prime Minister's fundamental priority area of focus. And he has built on the work that has taken place in Jamaica even before his arrival as Prime Minister. So we've tried to stabilize the economy so that we create the demand. And we did that 13 years ago. We've had other initiatives. We have a partnership arrangement where we try to come together as a country so that we have very little in the way of dispute, and we can have a consensus about moving forward. And we have a National Partnership Council that the Prime Minister chairs. We have a National Competitiveness Council chaired by Minister Hill now, that is really trying to make sure that the environment for business is as good as it can be. We've worked on public sector transformation so that we can have a seamless process of public sector support for our entrepreneurial activity. And then we have an organization called the Jamaica Promotions Corporation that is one of the leading promotional organizations in the world, and I'm so happy to see President Diane Edwards here as a part of our group. And the Jamaica Promotions Corporation has done many things. It has collaborated across the region, and so a few years ago I was fortunate enough to play a leading role in the development of a regional investment promotion strategy for the Caribbean in the context of the work of Carib Export, but fueled by JAMPRO and individuals who had gone and worked for Caribbean Export. We have a national investment policy, again, that JAMPRO has spearheaded, that is trying to ensure that there is a commonness of purpose across Jamaica about the role of investment so that we create the demand. So we've had a lot of work going on the demand side. What I say to you today in these very long greetings is that we are giving you the commitment today, graduates, your parents, and everyone in this audience, that Heart NSTA is going to do all that it can to ensure that as the demand for skills bubble up in the Jamaican economy as a fruit of the economic reform efforts, that there is the supply of technical capacity to match that demand. We are committing that, as is epitomized in this relationship that we have been able to work through with Amber, with tremendous initiative coming from Dushan, wonderful support from the Office of the Prime Minister, tremendous support from our team at Heart. This is an example of the kind of on-the-job training aligned to the needs of industry that we're going to be doing more and more and more of, because we need to make sure that there is a complete intersection between the demand for skilled talent and the supply. That's our commitment, but I want to end where I started, by congratulating our graduates, representing this tremendous example of what can be achieved when we partner effectively in Jamaica and we build on the creative talent of the Jamaican people represented here, the effervescence that aptly allows the Jamaican Tourist Board to say that Jamaica is indeed the heartbeat of the world.
You guys know what Tata is? I'm not asking the old people. You guys know what Tata bus is? So when the professor, Dr. Alvin Wynne, mentioned Tata, I see the graduates look at each other like, what am I talking about? Now, as a common entrance baby, we used to see enough Tata on our road. There were these box-like, no structure, no beauty, no aesthetics, just a big box with 4 wheels that them just put on the road. But it would get you from where you needed to go. So I used to take bus when I was going to school, and you'd hear the Tata coming from way down the road. And when you get to school, you smell like engine oil. But the most important thing was that you got to, all right. So Tata was a very efficient, effective vehicle that, you know Lada? Oh, no, Lada. All right, picture Tata, it's just a bigger version to the Lada. Now, Professor Dr. Alvin Wynne mentioned unleashing. What the Amber Group and this partnership with Heart NSTA Trust was able to do is unleash entrepreneurial spirit. What we don't want are our young, talented individuals to leave the island. We don't want that money and that economic power to leave the island. What we want is that when Amber and Heart finish with these individuals, Google, Microsoft, Meta, all of Silicon Valley is supposed to ask, what's going on in Jamaica? We need to come to Jamaica. So the Bob Marley song, in the Bob Marley song where him said them I got tired for see we face, when they think about cruises and destinations, they must think about Jamaica. When they think about trade and commerce, they must think about. When they hear about food, they must think about. When they talk about development, what must they think of? And when they think about coding, ICT, and software engineering, who must they think of? Them I got tired for see we face. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a beautiful video presentation for you, and I ask you to kindly direct your attention to the screens.
In this ever-changing, fast-paced, technology-driven world, we are ready to soar. The Amber Heart Academy will ignite the passionate creativity of our youth, and with technology as the drive of change, will seal Jamaica's fate as a global leader in innovation. From these halls, a new generation of coders, technology producers, and innovators will emerge, ready to be ahead of the game, ready to change, and ready to win.
A year ago, an incredible journey began.
All the students who would graduate from the Amber Heart Academy, all of them are guaranteed employment through Amber.
My name is Shanika Lewis, and I am currently enrolled at the Amber Heart Academy, where I am studying software development.
At the beginning, I was extremely excited about the program. I connected really with Amber's mission and its humanitarian values, and I was excited to be able to develop my own applications to be able to change the world.
In a year, their lives transformed.
The Amber Heart Coding Academy has transformed my life in many ways. For one, it has fulfilled a lifelong dream of mine of becoming a web developer / coder.
It allowed me to get exposed to different coding languages, and also it allowed me to build relationships with the amazing people in this course.
I tried to learn coding on my own. However, I wasn't persistent enough. However, after being adapted and acquainted with the individuals of the Amber Coding Academy, I have gained the motivation and the discipline to stay focused in learning coding.
It has taught me many different computer languages, and also I've learned different frameworks and different technologies here, and I would recommend this program to anyone.
After leaving the Coding Academy, I would first like to test where I am right now with my coding skills. So I'm most looking forward to working with experienced developers, learning their techniques, and see what I can even offer them in the future.
What I'm looking forward to the most after leaving this institution is to become a member of the Amber Group, and to also build a lot more applications to develop our country and also to develop the world by extension.
They have designed, they have coded, and built 11 applications ground up. Let us now show a few of the softwares they have developed.
The name of my application is Amber Donor, which is a blood bank application. And the inspiration that I've had for this application is due to the current incidents in Jamaica. Crime and violence has increased over the past year or two. And I've created a platform where individuals can source blood more easily. It is very easy for individuals to sign up and become a donor. And you're able to search for your blood type and see what availability there is for your blood type.
The name of my application is Amber Varalia. In Spanish, Varalia means measuring stick, and using my newly profound skills, I wanted to impress my sister, given that she works in the HR department, and it will help small businesses in Jamaica to expand their HR management solution to a digital platform.
The name of my web application is Amber Doctor's Office. What inspired me to do it is the love for coding, and also, to the best of my knowledge, the lack of appointment systems in the healthcare services. It will change Jamaica in the way that
people book appointments. And also, it will reduce the time spent in queues and on calls to book an appointment, and also allow them the convenience to book it from their homes, from their workplace, and anywhere else in that regard.
My first app is called After Class Discussion Forum. It's an environment within a school for persons, even after the class has ended, to keep the discussion going with your fellow colleagues and your teachers without having to browse the internet for answers that are similar to the questions you have asked in one local environment within your school. Like Stack Overflow and Laracast, it's a one location for persons to just ask their questions and get their standard answers without having to browse the internet. My second application is called the Amber Motors. It's a bike rental that I aim to offer the bike experience to persons. It's an application that allows persons to join online, whether as an associate or a customer. Persons who are willing to offer the bike experience to other persons within their area can join as an associate, while customers who are interested in the biking experience can join, select a bike that they want, and have a seamless transition of renting a bike and also putting their bike up to rent.
I think after seeing the excitement, the experience, the exposure, I think they deserve a bigger round of applause. I think it's important to also remind you that this pilot program began January 2021, which meant that they were not only enrolled in January, but they would have had to go through some intense training in order to come out with. Did you see the blood donor, the Amber? I mean, that's just amazing. And they did that during a pandemic. So I don't want us to overlook the fact that they would have had to really commit and dedicate a lot of time. And of course, because it's heart, it's a hands-on job. Congratulations and job well done. Now, before I invite the other speaker, I've been mentioning the word and the Amber Group. You know, they're the ones who funded this entire thing in terms of the partnership, the collaboration, and getting these students out, and of course, partnering with the right people to get them employed. So in case you're still wondering, so who is the Amber Group? Here they are. Please turn your attention to the screen. Very, very impressive. My goodness, that is the Amber Group. Now, the gentleman who I'm about to introduce, you've heard me saying Savadia, Dushan Savadia. I actually had the opportunity of interviewing him in a one-on-one interview, and there's a possibility that when he comes and he delivers his remarks, you will not get to hear his story. He started out as a youngster who didn't have much, had a lot of challenges, had a lot of obstacles, and how he started off with just this one idea: to do good, to serve others, to solve problems, to make the world a better place. And he spoke about building his company and having just one other person right in this little space. And when people started to call, they would pretend to be customer service and then hand over to IT, but it was really just the two of them in one room. And when you hear his story and his inspiration, you will understand why the pilot program such as this is important to him. because he had the possibility of becoming empowered, and so he wants to use his platform and his influence to actually empower others. He's a global entrepreneur, a humanitarian, a motivational speaker, and a technology disruptor. And I don't know how he finds time to do all of those things. He's also an aviation enthusiast who's also a licensed pilot. And if you think that's simple, when he was young, he had this massive stammer. And for persons who have stammers, you know, they have a lot of communication issues. And so when you think about a licensed pilot who now has to communicate with air traffic controller and all the other things that happens at an airport, he's a man who believes in possibilities and manifesting better. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Dushyant Savadia, founder and CEO, Amber Group.
The Most Honorable Andrew Holness, Prime Minister of Jamaica, Honorable Fable Williams, Minister of Education and Youth, His Excellency Masakui Rangsung and Mrs. Rangsung. I have to read my name here also, Mr. Dushyant Savadia and Mrs. Ekaterina Savadia. In fact, without the best half, you are only a half, right? Professor Alvin Wint, Chairman, Heart Trust, NSTA, Mrs. Novlet Denton Prince, Mrs. Jean Laurichin, Chairman, Digital Foundation, Mr. Jabbor Kayumov, I got it right, CEO, Digital Group, Mrs. Thalia Lin, Chairman, NCB Foundation, Ms. Nadine Matthews-Blair, Chief Digital and Marketing Officer, NCB, Akeem Henry, our valedictorian, other stakeholders, parents and guardians who are here to celebrate this day with us today, graduates, my winning team, friends of the media, and all the viewers tuned in live from across the world. Very good evening. Okay, you all had lunch, right? Good evening. Okay. Now we've got a house full. So I usually do not use scripts, but today I'm going to, because they want me to keep myself contained within 10 minutes. That's the only way I can do it, is by reading a script. Okay. So thank you first of all for joining us this evening. This day is very special, not just for Amber, for me, but for Jamaica, for all these students who are here with us today. It was the late innovator Steve Jobs who said this: technology is nothing. What's important is that you have faith in people, that they are basically good and smart. And if you give them tools, they will create wonderful things with them. We had faith. We gave them the tools. They learned and built wonderful things. And today, so many lives are being transformed forever. Congratulations, the class of 2022. I want to give a little bit of a backstory because it all feels like just yesterday. Actually, it feels like yesterday. So it was over a year ago. Alok Jain, Merle Donaldson from the OPM team, and Martin Rickman and Kenisha Campbell from HARD. Four of us, we met over a coffee at Terra Nova at 7 a.m. in the morning. Now, what it tells you, lots can happen over a coffee. In that 2 hours of meeting, we decided what we're going to do. We knew what we had to do, and we were all clear that it has to be done. And the next thing, within 2-3 days, we put together a nice PowerPoint presentation. We got the appointment from the Prime Minister, and we presented the whole proposal to the Prime Minister, and we got his instant support, instant backing, and it was so evident in his passion for this project, because I think it almost evidently aligned to what he had envisioned for Jamaica, and for Jamaica to become the entrance into becoming a global technology producer, not just a consumer of technology. And in 3 months thereafter, we actually launched the first cohort of the Amber Heart Academy. Most of them are here today. I'll tell you a little bit of a side story also, of the side story. We normally think government is slow. I totally don't disagree with it. But we normally think that the government is slow, it takes time to get things done. But I tell you, when the project is right, when the intent is right, and there are so good-willed people behind it, a project of this size was launched within 3 months itself, which is a phenomenal achievement by any standards. And what was even more disappointing, that after we launched the project and it was all out in the media, the Amber Heart Academy is launched, 50 students, this is the first cohort. When I looked at the sentiments over social media, the consistent sentiment was a whole load of criticisms. This is going to fail. Jamaicans and coding, we can't even do proper mathematics. And I tell you, it was a little disappointing for me also, but from the Prime Minister to the OPM's team to the Heart team and my whole team behind, we never let that change our pace or change our attitude towards what we wanted to accomplish. And today we are all here setting a new precedence of success. And when I say success, it gives me goosebumps, actually. I'm not just cold, but it's giving me goosebumps because these students, a year ago, a little over a year ago, from so many inner city communities, so many different backgrounds, so many different upbringings came together to become one big family at the Stony Hill Academy and completed, not just completed, they are some of the finest coders of Jamaica now. And it is already evident in the video that you saw, it is not a Photoshop. These are actual live applications designed by this cohort right here on their own, ground up. And when you see the quality, which I was sharing with the Prime Minister while we were watching it, look at the quality of the UI UX. Not that we helped them to do anything. We said, these are the 11 concepts we want you to build. And all of these boys and girls together built 11 applications. You only saw 6 today because of the time constraint. 11 applications ground up, so beautifully designed. Who can say this is not Jamaica? And they've now matriculated to receive their NCTVET Level 3 certification in 1 year of their time at the academy, and learned creating end-to-end software programs. And at the same time, today I'm also pleased to announce that 27 of our graduates from the pilot training academy that we launched a year and a half ago have gained full employment at companies such as Digicel, NCB, and Amber. Isn't this astonishing by any standards? That in 1 year time, we think our youths don't have skills? I tell you, you're wrong. All those criticizers a year ago on Twitter and Facebook and Instagram, I tell you, these students actually made a lot of people wrong. They removed, if there was any doubt that our youths in Jamaica lack skill, lack intelligence, that's gone today for sure. An incredible achievement in a year's time to learn a language they had no clue about, to learn coding, to understand complex algorithms, to put together different syntaxes and languages to learn and write so many codes, to build an application which looks so beautiful and so presentable, at the same time so user-friendly and solves a particular pain point in the society, in the consumer requirements also. So give them a big round of applause for such an astonishing accomplishment. Amber was conceived right here in Jamaica, and I've said the story many times. I'm not going to start again. I was broke January 2nd, 2015. And I was a full-time humanitarian, and I realized charity cannot happen from an empty bowl. And that day I decided we will build businesses whose only purpose would be to serve the society. And 6 years later, I'm so proud that we've become a proud multinational Jamaican company exporting our software services globally in 30 countries today. At Amber, this is our passion, that our call is to serve and help people find purpose. We have used all of our available resources to build, empower, change, and transform lives and the world through technology. You know, last year I pointed out that the largest exporters of software is now India and China and Eastern Europe and Philippines. That statistics has not changed. With the global market to $507 billion today, this is a tremendous opportunity to partake in this market, and Jamaica should not be left behind. In fact, current issues in the world will require greater resilience on technology to ensure consumers and businesses can interact, integrate, and survive together. The technology sector remains among the fastest developing sectors across the world, building out data analytics, artificial intelligence, machine learning, robotics, 3D printing, including aviation. If technology drives our everyday life, why can't we here in Jamaica build out the technology hub of the Caribbean for the entire region? Why can't we build our own Silicon Valley and say, instead of calling our land Jam Rock, call it Jam Tech Rock? I know many persons, not just in Jamaica, but in several corners of the world, also suffer from technophobia, which in simple terms mean a form of apprehension to use technology. You know, Honorable Prime Minister Holness was absolutely correct in something he said that was so profound and it glued in my head that I would like to repeat with your permission, Prime Minister. He said, we must promote the use of technology because the societies that embrace technology, embrace science, and remove suspicion, fear, and instead apply reason, those are the societies that progress and prosper. Very profound. It is the societies that fear technologies, resist technology, resist science, and rest their hopes on superstition and fear. Those societies are those that crumble and don't last and become mired in poverty.
When did I say that?
It was from one of your speeches. I follow you very closely. Sorry.
Technology.
When you forget to turn off. In my view, the technology is not to be feared. It is to be used for a greater good, rather. Jamaica's biggest asset, of course, after our sun, sea, and land, is our human capital. We have leveraged the sun, the sea, and land for decades. It's time now to focus on human capital. And also, Prime Minister, in my opinion, skills are not equivalent to degrees, and degrees are not equivalent to skills either. Times have changed. The world has changed. People with no degree, such as me, I didn't even graduate. I hope you know I was kicked out by my parents when I was 19 because I was a drug addict, alcoholic, and a chain smoker. And my parents are visiting me from India, and they are here in this room. And one of their big desire, Prime Minister, is to take a picture with you. People with no degree have proven to be extremely skillful and have contributed enormously to businesses, society, and the world at large, while persons with formal degrees continue to pave the way for the society. The time has come for us to embark on the journey to onboard employees because they are skillful and not deter them from their ambition to contribute just because they do not have the relevant degree that your business or public sector is looking for. And I'm being very frank today. Just skills are also not enough. With skills also is needed emotional learning, emotional maturity, in our youth and adults too. I refuse to grow up. I'm still a child. Hence, not only did we provide coding skills to the students here, they've also been trained through the workshops of the Art of Living Foundation, which is one of the world's largest nonprofit organization and has impacted 800 million people around the world in 153 countries, to focus on integrity, human values, compassion, and keep a mindset of serving the society. Today, I stand so proud that this pilot of 100 youths, half of them here and half of them are still under training. They will complete in another 3 months. So there's another party coming up. Has been so successful and has been groundbreaking. As Amber, this gives us the confidence and courage to invest even further, to start the Caribbean's first Amber Institute of Coding. A dedicated campus-based coding institute where from early October, the registrations will open very soon. We will onboard 300 residential youths and 200 who can commute to the campus every day and study coding. And in a year's time, we will graduate them like all of these folks here. So I'm imploring other businesses in Jamaica, all the businesses in Jamaica, please get in touch with us. Let's partner together as the private sector of Jamaica. Just as NCB and Digicel have opened doors to the students coming out of the Amber Heart Academy. Integrate them into your businesses and help us develop a first world nation. I want to thank Digicel and NCB for the tremendous support towards the Coding in Schools program and the Coding Academy, and now they've taken another leap with us by employing these graduates. You truly are champions of Jamaica, Digicel and NCB, and thank you for what you're doing for these youths today. Thank you. I think I've got another 2 minutes. We have the blueprint right here. We are actively training and certifying our workforce to transition to higher value-added jobs. We have trained problem solvers. Therefore, the private and public sectors must utilize this new generation of skills to innovate, create, and lead Jamaica with technology. And I urge Jamaicans to adapt technology, because when you adapt technology, when you start using technology, you allow more employment in this space, which is the fastest growing space in the whole world, which is digitization. My friends, I'm truly passionate about what we can do with technology, how we can transform our society and economy with technology, how we can become greater through the use of technology. Oftentimes, technology is the catalyst for change. Let us use technology to propel Jamaica to the next frontier. In my closing, I also want to thank Ruchita Tripathi, Amber's technical coordinator for the Amber Heart Academy and the Coding in Schools both. She has really put up, you know what I mean. She has worked tirelessly with these youths to get them here today. Thank you, Ruchita. I also want to thank all the master coders of Amber Group who have engaged in full time teaching all these young ones here and brought them this far. I also want to thank 600 strong team members of the Amber Group across the world between US, Jamaica, South Africa, India to work so hard to create the wealth in the Amber Group so we can today give back to our society. To the students, I have one short comment for you. Look back with gratitude. All our ups and downs have made us who we are today, right? Look up with hope and confidence, and look forward with prayers. Honorable Prime Minister and the team at the OPM, Heart Trust, Stony Hill Campus, a massive, massive thank you for this incredible dedication and collaboration. Your passion to revolutionize Jamaica is so obvious in what we're accomplishing today. Ladies and gentlemen, have a great evening, and thank you so much for supporting this initiative. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm not going to get a louder round of applause after that. In case you missed it, we're here to celebrate the 27, I know there are only 25 of you here, who are graduating in this particular ceremony. There will be an additional 50 in the next couple of months. This was just a pilot program, you know? And if you were listening to Mr. Savadio, many people said this now go nowhere. Oh, this now go work. Technology, coding, engineering. We can't read and we can't write. This is not going to work. And Mr. Savadia said, it's all right. You guys can say anything you want to say. We're believing it. We're going to invest in it. We don't know what the outcomes are going to be, but we're going to do it anyway. And then when they had their meeting, a birdie told me, when they had their follow-up meeting, you know, as partners, Heart, NSTA Trust comes in because, you know, you do the pilot program, so the question now is, what's next? And Mr. Savadia said, no, sir, we're not doing this again, you know, we're done. Can't bother with this. And I know Heart must have been like, what? But this is successful. Instead of it just being an academy and just pushing out 27 and 50 and maybe 100, Jamaica has just launched the first of its kind through the Amber Group, the Amber Heart Institute of Coding. It is the only one that exists in the Caribbean. This is history that has been created. And I wanted us to understand what that means, because again, it makes Jamaica, or it puts Jamaica first in terms of not just vision and ideation, but execution. So in October, we have 500 students who will be coming in. That's a big number. And again, the Amber Group and the Heart NSTA Trust, this promise is that you will have guaranteed jobs when you leave. So again, when you leave here, if you know anyone, you have any youngsters in mind who you know are interested and they want to do better in life, tell them, sign up. There's an opportunity. You have the opportunity to be brand champions for other people. So again, Amber Group, congratulations, commendations to what you have been able to do. So we've seen the number of students here and everyone who has come and who has done protocol and welcome. You've heard them say, you know, and Akeem Henry, who is the valedictorian, and we've called his name. We see everyone look at him like, yo, go on, my boss. Yeah, are you? Ladies and gentlemen, kindly put your hands together as the valedictorian takes a stand.
First, let me welcome the most Honorable Andrew Holness, our Prime Minister, the Honorable Faber Williams, the Minister of Education and Youth, Mr. Hugh Graham, the Shadow Minister of Commerce, Science and Technology, the Honorable Misuki Rongsong and Mrs. Rongsong, the Ambassador of High Commissioner of India, Mr. Dushan Savalia and Ms. Catherine Savalia, founder and CEO of Amber Group, Professor Alvin Wint, this, chairman of Heart NSTA Trust, and Ms. Novelette Delton Prince, Managing Director of Heart NSTA Trust, Mrs. Jane Lorraine Chin, the Chairman of Digicel Foundation, Mr. Jabok Kaimov, thank you, CEO of the Digicel Group, Mrs. Talia Lynn, the Chairman of NCB Foundation, Mrs. Natalie Blair, Chief of Digicel Marketing and Officer of NCB. Let me welcome you all. You know, it's a very strange feeling when you're actually nervous, but you have a group of people that actually believe in you. So I'll actually give some cheers to my friends as well. It is with great honor and privilege that I present to you the Amber Heart graduating class of 2022. On behalf of all my colleagues, I would like to thank each and every one of you for coming here to celebrate this special occasion with us. I would like to begin by thanking our Prime Minister, the Amber Group, and the Heart NSTA Trust for this wonderful opportunity to receive world-class training at the country's first ever coding academy. I would also like to thank our parents, grandparents, extended families for their support and guidance during our time at the Amber Heart Academy. Each one of you have played a special role in our journey, and this evening we celebrate the accumulation of this journey. 18 months ago, on January 14, 2021, the first cohort of 50 students made history by joining the Amber Heart Academy, and today we are certified coders who are one step closer to transforming our lives and our country into the next technological hub of the Caribbean. Each of us has gained our own unique experience, a combination of the good and the not so good times, times of laughter and joy, the memories of that one moment of finally getting a new error after 2 hours of debugging, or who could forget that conflicting feeling of blaming Tailwind for not working when it was in fact you who forgot to put in your style sheet. Living on the dorm was a bitter experience. The early rising in the morning, and the dorm duties, and the open life all created a new sensation. The dorms, with their different personalities and ideologies, created havoc and at times was struggling to say the least. But on the other hand, the new friends and the general interactions I would have when giving coding advice at night were far exceeded these new experiences I had to adjust to. Just wish that it wasn't at night when I was sleeping, guys. The road to where we are standing, being filled with hope, wasn't without its own hardships. From the moments of depression and wanting to give up, thinking that it was just too difficult and we were not fit for this line of work, but failing doesn't give you a reason to give up, as long as you believe and stand up again. So we believed not only in ourselves, but each other's. Ladies and gentlemen, we were the pillar of support for each other during our difficult times. So we, just like forging a katana, by repeating the process over and over throughout the last 18 months, day and night, we stand before you as future coders of Jamaica today. I would like to express our sincere thanks to Ms. Roshita Chupati, who has always assisted us whenever we had our queries. We cannot forget our administrative and auxiliary staff who toiled tirelessly to ensure the daily operation of the institution. Mr. Ibanks and Ms. Pearson, our resident supervisors, who are always a tremendous help whenever we needed it. To Ms. Berry, I thank you for always To Ms. Berry, I thank you for always having an open door to hear our concerns and taking time out of your busy schedule for us. You were there for us each step of the way, keeping us focused while taking care of us. And last but not least, Ms. Robinson, whose words and advice from day one has always been with us, pushing us and giving us motivation to keep going forward, and for giving us the greatest slogan, put it in writing.
Personally, I am inspired by my classmate Javon Bailey, who has overcome much adversity to be here graduating with us today. Bailey, you and many others have gone through, have been tenacious and have had such great attitude in the face of many setbacks. When I got a little down about something not turning out the way I wanted, I remember some of the talks that we had, and it gave me the perspective I needed to keep pushing forward. To Tevin and to Matthew, who doubled as design coach to help me to make sure that my app designs were always presentable, I thank you. I will always remember Javon Grant, who provided the competitive drive and to help me broaden my view on every problem that I faced. And last but not least, Roger Henry, who when coding took standard logic, tossed it out the window, and was still able to achieve a working code at the end of the day. My friend, you are one of a kind. On behalf of the graduating class of 2022, I would like to give a big thanks to the Amber Group. Our words are not enough to express our gratitude to Mr. Deshant Savalier for coming up with the idea of the Coding Academy, and I'm sure my colleagues would agree that it has changed our lives and transformed our future for the better. We are indeed grateful for the rare opportunity we got to gain knowledge and experience, success and failure, to grow in prestigious companies like Digicel, NCB, and Humber. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a phenomenal, and we will take pride in being the first cohort of the Distinguished Coding Academy. Had it not been for Mr. Savalier, young people like us would have been missing out on a lot, and not to forget all the confidence he gave us, it was amazing. During our session of undertaking the Art of Living exercise, Mr. Savalier taught us techniques to heighten our senses and to adjust our mindset, further helping us to focus on our goals to which we had set out to accomplish. The breathing exercise provided a state of calm mind within our lectures, so we never were overwhelmed by the new languages and syntax we had to understand. Amber had changed the lives of all graduates today, but this is like a chain reaction. It will keep growing and growing. Amber Company has proven itself to be a true Jamaican company. Once again, a big thanks to Mr. Deshant Savalier, the Amber Group, and the Amber Art Academy for this marvelous opportunity to practice and to master the craft that we were given to take the first step into changing and improving Jamaica. Mr. Savalier has been a role model to us. He truly walks the talk. We have heard his story from being a disturbed teen to a technological disturber, from being abused to becoming an alcoholic, from an angry person to a meditation teacher, from a humanitarian to a founder and CEO of a global technological company. We aspire to follow your footsteps of ingenuity, passion, and above all, serving Jamaica. Often on graduation days, we look outside for heroes and inspirational figureheads, but I see them right here among us today. I have seen in my year of the Amber Art Academy that we don't have to look far for inspiration, and that each of us has the potential to make an inspiring contribution to others by being true to our values and committing ourselves to our lofty goals. When we leave here today, celebrate what you have accomplished, but look forward with an eye towards how you can be an inspiration to others. Congratulations, class of 2022.
Job well done, sir. Was he the one who came up here and said he was nervous? He said that he was nervous, but he was happy that he was with people. And after every sentence, the man look at you and say, "You what me I say?" You notice that? And his confidence and his posture. It's so beautiful, right? A lot of us would not have known what they might have been like a year ago, but I'm almost positive that the students who we see before us are standing a little bit taller. Their backs are a little bit, they're straight. Thank you, Akeem, for reminding us the importance of camaraderie, and that even in becoming, the next technological giants, it is important for you to be in service of your colleagues. That each of you had your challenges, but it took another one to say, we can do this. And in spite of their own challenges, they were there to help you up. And I think the camaraderie that you spoke with certainly is a reflection of how the Amber Group has built a culture based on that. So congratulations, really job well done. It reminded us that you have to put the faith in people. As Mr. Savadia said earlier, you have to give them the tools, encourage creativity, and give them room to just be and create. Again, congratulations to the graduating class of 2022. So we heard from Akeem Henry, but we actually want to know, see and meet the graduates. And so in order to put them on show, I'm going to move to the side to allow us to do this. Thank you so very much. So we mentioned that the students here will be getting their diplomas, you know, that paper that says you are absolutely certified, you've passed through the program. But they're also going to get their letter, their job offer. I think that's so cool. My goodness. Some of us go through 5 and 6 years and when we come out here, we are sweat bullets because we don't know if we're going to get a job or not. And I can assure you that you will be well taken care of. My first job paid me 2,000 Jamaican dollars a week. I learned a lot from that job. In the first batch, I would like to welcome the Prime Minister who will assist in terms of the presentation of the certificate. And these are the batch of students who will go and transition straight in to Amber. So I also invite Mr. Savadio to assist us here. We now begin the presentation of certificates. These are the Amber Heart graduates. Tevin Edwards. And even though he has on his mask, I can tell that he is cheesing and smiling from ear to ear. This is Tevin Edwards. His employment company, Amber Group. Don't turn your back. Aye. Tevin don't know what to do. Him just step on a high. Congratulations. And to the parents taking the video and the picture, make sure it's not pixelated. Please make sure that we see their heads. Shamar Stewart, Amber Group. Brushing off the gown and thing. All right. Was he the joker in the group? Okay, I see everyone going, yup, that's right. Congratulations. Chanel McPherson, Amber Group. Little Bocci, all right. Not to be messed with. Congratulations. The valedictorian, Akeem Henry. Congratulations. It was also beautiful to hear about the mentorship, right, that Amber, the IT specialist within Amber Group offered. Congratulations. Next up, Matthew Lane. Congratulations are in order. Also transitioning into Amber Group. We welcome Javon Bailey. And if my memory serves me correctly, Akeem mentioned Javon Bailey, called him by name. Was it just this Javon? Who he said, despite the many challenges and setbacks, which I don't know, he's here today. So congratulations, Javon. Ronald. You know how long I don't say Ronald? Ronald Hector. Congratulations. Stepping into the Amber Group. And as Ronald Hector makes his way off, we say hello and congratulations to Richard Wilson. Congratulations. Congratulations are in order for Kimon Walters. I hear somebody say, woo, woo, woo. We see the parents, the proud parents, guardians, family, friends. Where is Roger Henry? It was very important to Mr. Savadia Amber Group and of course Heart NSTA Trust that in this pilot program, these students would be transitioning right into a job. So they get the paper, but they also get the placement. Where is Daniel Pink? Congratulations. Daniel, I don't know if you know the famous author called Daniel Pink who wrote the book called When. When. Fantastic book that speaks about the power of timing and being in the right place at the right time. Congratulations. Ricardo Hibbert. No, but Ricardo's a superstar. Why not, right? Why not? Congratulations, sir. Now, when you guys build the apps and then you sell it back for like billions of dollars and, you know, don't forget us. Mark every face in this room. Thank you so very much, Mr. Savadia. I am still going to require the services of my Prime Minister. So we just saw the graduates who will transition into the Amber Group, and now we move to Digicel. This is also a company that is directly employing the students I'm about to name. I'd like to invite Mr. Jabor Kayumov, CEO, Digicel Group. Dobre Vice. Hello to Kevorn Callum. Congratulations, sir. Wow. Look at me trying to find out what's in the bag. CEO come up here with a bag and I'm like, what's going on? Kevin, what you get? Shanika Lewis. I feel so proud. I've been to many graduations, I've seen many certificates, but this is the first time I ever see certificate and job going hand in hand. My word. Thank you to NCB, thank you to Digicel, thank you to Amber Group, leading by example. So as Shanika, why Shanika look like she don't know, she don't want what's in the bag? Coming to the stage, Akinyan Thompson. superstar, apparently. Congratulations, sir. So we saw the graduates going into Amber. No, these are the graduates for Digicel. And after Akinyan Thompson, we have Latoya Jackson. Congratulations. And rounding off the list for Digicel is this Javanil or Javanil? Fantastic. Javanil Chowers. Congrats. I remember you from the video. Congrats. Lickle Bottom. Congratulations. Thank you so very much, Mr. Kayumov, and we appreciate the kind contribution of Digicel. And we now move to NCB. The graduates who will be coming up within this group are employed by Amber, but they're seconded into NCB. And we have Mrs. Nadine Matthews-Blair, Chief Digital and Marketing Officer, NCB. Always a nation builder. Ezra Muir. Congratulations. Job well done. And behind Ezra, we have Patrick Virgo. This is in the NCB category. Employed by Amber, seconded into NCB. Camille Newman, where are you? Congratulations. I just love how the PM is trying to ensure that you guys get like the best angles for your photos. He's like, come on, keep your back straight, make sure we see your face, make sure you smile. Congratulations. Thank you, PM. Orlando Charlton. Congrats, sir. Of course, this is NCB. Beautiful partnership, beautiful collaboration. Both companies with vision. Toure Shippy. Congratulations, sir. Toure Shippy. Somebody say, yeah, man. And we say congratulations to Christopher Watson. Congratulations, bow tie and all. The man say, yo, una go see my face today. How will you know it's me standing up the Prime Minister, standing beside him if I don't? Javon Grant. NCB, thank you. So we saw Amber Group earlier. We saw Digicel, the final group, NCB. These graduates employed by Amber and seconded into NCB. Now, we did say that today we were supposed to have 27 graduates, only 25 are here. So the last graduate here, closing off the 25, is Romaine Donald. The man walked fast to the stage and the man said, yo, need to collect my things. Congratulations. Beautiful. Thank you so very much. Thank you, Prime Minister. Thank you, Nadine Matthews-Blair, Chief Digital and Marketing Officer, NCB. Ladies and gentlemen, you just witnessed the graduating class of 2022, Amber Heart Academy. As Mr. Savadia said earlier, people will look at you and what you have done, and it will remove all doubt that they had earlier that this would not work. So now that we've gotten all of that out of the way, I spoke about this gentleman earlier, and I've said that I've been privileged enough to hear him speak. He's known as the builder, if many of you may not know, and it is not just for what we see developing around us from an infrastructural point of view, but his endeavor, his priority, his emphasis, what he has been drilling and driving is the importance of economic growth. And then he asks, what does that look like? But before we get to that, what we want to do is we want to sign and seal the promise that was made between Amber and the Heart, NSTA Trust. So now we will have the signing of the MOU for Amber Heart Institute of Coding. This is symbolic. It is an agreement that this will be done. So I'm going to invite Mr. Savadia, Novlet Denton Prince, to kindly make their way to the table over there. I'm also going to invite the witnesses, Juliana Moody from the Amber Group, as well as Kenesha Campbell of Heart NSTA Trust. And I'm going to invite the Prime Minister kindly to be there with the group. So as I said earlier, this is the first of its kind, the first time we're having an Institute of Coding. This is the promise and the commitment between the Amber Group and Heart NSTA Trust to create, to develop, to design. It's already done. To produce more software engineers at a high-class, international level. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together because this is history. Congratulations. Congratulations, sir. So as I was saying earlier, I've had the privilege of listening to the Prime Minister. A couple weeks ago, we opened the Portmore Informatics Park, which was just another opportunity for young persons to get an opportunity at a livelihood. And again, his emphasis has been on growth creation, job creation, economic growth, giving people the ability to change their lives for themselves, their communities, and their nation at the heart. And something that he has also said is that we have to be able to remove some of the bureaucracy so that this can move much faster. We heard Mr. Savadia say it earlier, that the government assisted to really allow this thing to take wind. And so I've learned a lot from the Prime Minister each and every time he has spoken, and certainly what we're seeing here is a reflection of the things that he wants to see manifest on a mass level, where Jamaica will stand as the hub. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my privilege to welcome to the stage our guest speaker for this evening, for this graduation, the Prime Minister of Jamaica, the Most Honorable Andrew Holness.
Thank you, Terry Carell Reed, for I would like to that represent innovative thinking industry. It is a strong education, because there is a prevailing perspective that one needs to have a kind of broad preparedness in education. But you would have heard what Dushanta said, that a degree doesn't always mean a skill. And industry, yes, we need people who are well trained and broadly prepared, but industry also needs specific skills. Probably my most rewarding time was when I was Minister of Education, and I had the opportunity to visit Australia, which is widely regarded as a country that has institutionalized skills in their education culture. And I visited a plant, and I want you guys to listen to this carefully. At this plant, they were teaching, they were training apprentices in, not in music, but in, they were training these apprentices in repairing huge mining equipment. I mean, an excavator that could probably fill half, huge machinery. And they introduced me to the youngsters who were being trained. And all they were doing was dipping in one bucket, and they would take up a nut. And they had to dip in another bucket and take up a bolt. And then they had to match them. And they spent maybe weeks on this before they even got to touch the machine. And I asked, why? Why was this the case, that you're having these guys being trained? It's quite expensive, obviously, to train them, and all they're doing is dipping in one bucket, take up a nut, and in another bucket to take up a bolt. And the instructor said to me, do you know how many nuts and bolts there are on this machine? If I had a mechanic who could not by touch tell me which bolt can fit which nut, do you know how much time we would waste? In a reassembling this machine? Without looking at it, without checking it, getting it right the first time. That is a skill. You can't read about it. You can't study it. You have to do it. And the more you do it, the better you become at it. And obviously, that training institute was aligned to Caterpillar, the maker of the equipment. And they were bringing in the youngsters and training them in every aspect of the repair and disassembly of the equipment. They obviously got it right in terms of aligning their labor force with the needs of their industry. So this is revolutionary in that we are putting the needs of the industry first. If we're serious about growth and development, we have to do more of this. So I'm very happy that this is being done and will probably be an example for other such partnerships. The second revolutionary thing about this training is that it is open and inclusive. There is a perspective that education ought to be elite and exclusive. Only the brightest should get the opportunity. And that there are some endeavors that don't require or should not get institutional attention. Now, all we require for you to participate in this program is that you have minimum mathematics, that you are literate, and that you demonstrate the aptitude and attitude for we're not looking for rocket scientists and the most brilliant people by virtue of what kind of exams we use to be brilliant. And that's how we have to create the education system. That we cater for everyone, regardless. The third element is that this is a public-private partnership. But more than that, it is a private-led partnership in a sense, because the idea really originated with Duchamp, who then passed it on to members in my office, who then passed it on to Hart, and then Hart took a posture of saying, yes, our role is to support industry. It is not often that governments and agencies and departments think in this way. The fatal flaw of governments and departments and ministries is that they believe they exist to serve themselves. There is a transformation happening in Jamaica. And believe me, it is, you see the resistance every day to the changes that are happening. But the changes are for the best. Heart does not exist to serve itself. it exists to serve these young people. Oftentimes the conversation misses that. Not just with heart, but with the public service in general. So this is revolutionary in that sense. Maybe not revolutionary, but we'll accept it anyway. It's free of cost. And I'm sure the beneficiaries are very happy for that. It's free to them, but it's not free to the taxpayers of the country, and it's not free to AMBA. Every year, taxpayers of the country contribute a special tax to HART, specifically for training. There is a emerging debate about whether or not dedicated taxes actually work. And I'm going to be treading on some controversial waters. But you would have noticed as of late that I have been saying many controversial things and challenging conventional thoughts. I really don't care who bets. But there are things in which much must be said. The old conventional way of seeing the problems must change, because the thinking that got us into these problems is not the thinking that is going to get us out. My job now is to get people to change their thinking so that we can come out of the problems. But there is a set of persons in this country who hold on to some thinking. Just hold on to it, and they cannot see that the country is changing before their very eyes. I was going to say something, but enough. Enough. So this program is a proof of concept. There's one other revolutionary thing about it. It happened quickly. From thought to execution, almost at the speed of light. It was just a few months ago, literally, that we launched this during the pandemic. And I'm here today to see the first products. It is not always the case, because by the time you move through policy review, procurement, then you get sent back. Anyway. But it's done. This is done. And it moved very fast. And it moved very fast because a lot of it was by public-private partnership, which accelerated things. You know, if you reflect on our success as a track and field nation, you would see that, you know, we run very fast, and we praise that. It is a part of our culture. It's in our school system. Our athletes train for it. We gather in the stadium to cheer. Energy and already done. So, I want to also congratulate the graduating class. It was a robust and intense training. Some of you didn't make it, because there is a part of training which is not always acknowledged. Yes, you have to have knowledge. So you need to have a kind of broad-based foundational skills from education. So there is a knowledge base that you need to have in order to build training and skills on top of that. Then you need now to actually participate in the skill. You need to take that knowledge and actually do. Right? And out of that you develop competence. But there is an important part of the training matrix which is called attitude. Not everyone that has the basic knowledge and participate in training will make it, and the primary reason is usually the attitude. Some people didn't like the small bunk, some people couldn't manage the food, some people couldn't take the hours, and some people discovered that this was just not my area. I'll go on to something else. But you stuck it through. So it's quite clear that the training matrix worked. You had the knowledge, the skills, and the right attitude. So we're at this point now where you would have heard me speak on many occasions about Jamaica could be the Silicon Valley of the world. We're trying to make some investments in Portmore, where we have this high concentration of university graduates, where we could focus attention and truly create a knowledge industry in Jamaica. This is but one of the projects that we are working on to truly create the digital society. It's a very important part of the digital society thrust, because there is the need for the link between machine and function, that cyber artificial intelligence. In other words, man needs to direct machines, and how we direct machines is through coding. And that's going to be the fourth industrial, that is the fourth industrial revolution. That is the world that we live in. And what we're doing is to ensure that we don't lose out on the fourth industrial revolution, that we have the human resources that can be at the cutting edge of it, not just consuming the technology, but also creating and developing the technology. And these youngsters are on the first rung of that ladder in learning the foundations of coding, developing the apps that drive the virtualization, the digitization, and the machines. It is a good start, but we have a long way to go. And I want you to stop and think just for a moment. These youngsters represent a part of the human capital of Jamaica. They're part of a new industry, and they're bringing in a new skill set. They will get employed. But I want you to consider that there might be multiples more of these youngsters who are not part of our human capital in the way that these youngsters are, meaning that they are trained and honed and enhanced. But they are potential. But they are just out there. Some of them are a dead weight on the society, in addition to the opportunity cost that we lose for not having them trained like this. And some of them are negatively contributing to the society. They are involved in crimes and deviance. The challenge for Heart and the education system generally, but for Heart specifically, is to figure out how to get these youngsters into a process of training to convert that deadweight loss and that opportunity cost into genuine benefits for the society. That is the challenge of the government. A few weeks ago, I made the point that Jamaica is now at risk of losing out on our growth potential because there is a shortage of skilled labor in the country. I know it is a surprise to a lot of people because they are stuck in the old way of viewing Jamaica. That Jamaica has this unlimited pool of labor that we're not utilizing because we weren't growing. Things have changed. There are many projects coming on stream for which we simply do not have all the labor. There are some people who feel that this is a statement to open the door to import labor. Again, the old way of thinking, the old way of seeing the world. Firstly, this is an opportunity for the society to turn around and look at those youngsters who are wasting away, not going to school, and to say, hey, look, work is there for you. Don't follow this foolish idea about there is no work out there. Change the mentality. It is a call to action for Heart and other training institutes to put on programs like these, because you see they're ready to jump down on me. They say, what are you doing? Obviously, we have been doing it long before you have been even speaking about it. I don't just come out and speak about these things. These are things we research and study for a long time before we make comments on them, because we know what we're doing. But I have to engage the social conversation to change the mindset of people and to alert the society as to what is happening. So Heart is quietly going through some very serious changes. We have changed the board entirely, almost, well, not entirely, but we have augmented the board. We have recently now settled on appointing a new executive director, or the term is managing director. That's the term, managing director. The chairman of Heart, who brought me back to my days in sitting in his lecture of international business. He has been missioned as to exactly what we need to do to make Heart an industry-friendly institution that is aligned to the growth agenda. And you will be seeing many more projects like these, bringing out new skills to support the new industries that are growing, while at the same time supporting our traditional industries in construction, in tourism, in business process outsourcing. So we are on top of it. There is another program just like this one where we are now trying to develop a cadre of data engineers. Data engineers are a few rung above coders. These are data scientists who are highly trained, in the development of algorithms and data mining and so forth. We don't have that skill readily in Jamaica. If we had 5,000 data engineers in Jamaica, all of them would be employed. If we had 10,000 data engineers, Google, Oracle, Meta, iPhone, all of them would be right here. So we have to be very instrumentally, deliberately going about creating the environment in which these new 21st century skills and talents will emerge. So that pool of labor that we have that is not in the labor force, they are out there, they are unattached. Some of them are in gangs, some of them at home doing nothing. The call is, we want you. Don't follow this nonsense argument that there's nothing out there for you and the world is against you and nobody don't care about it because of your address. If you went through this batch right here, you would see addresses that people would traditionally reject. But all of these graduates are employed because our labor market and our economy is changing. So we want to bring all of you in. All of you who say you're a chopper. And for those who don't know the slang, they are into scamming, or the more preferred term, advanced fee fraud. All of them who say that they are shotters, meaning that they are contract killers, or that they are gangsters and profilers. There is a space in the formal economy that you can earn a living honestly. So HEART has its job cut out for it, and the direction is clear. That we need to be able to bring these people in very quickly, bring them up to a level of knowledge very quickly, then get them into training for skills very quickly, and at the same time, in parallel with those two processes, develop their attitudes. And that's why we took the decision very early to merge HEART with the Jamaica Foundation for Lifelong Learning, to make sure that everybody has that basic literacy and numeracy. We took a decision to merge HEART with the National Youth Service to make sure that in parallel with developing the knowledge base, there is the development of the right attitude towards learning and towards work. And HEART is now fully merged with the apprenticeship board to make sure that there is a system that allows work and learning. So that those were taken long before, those decisions, and that is why it is now the HEART Trust NSTA, National Service and Training Agency. So now, where HEART is now, having made the organizational, administrative, and operational changes, it is now at the point where it needs to execute these programs, to very quickly ramp up its training to meet the needs of industry, so that we don't hit up on a brick wall when I have 8 hotel projects that are coming in within the next 12 months. I must have tilers for all of them. I must have the electricians, I must have the painters for all of them. So HEART needs to shed its conventional and traditional ways of doing things and needs to reach out to the industry players and say to the industry players, tell me exactly what you need, and I will now go and craft the program with your full participation to reduce the cost of labor and training to industry. All of that is in train, and I'm expecting that it will be done in Usain Bolt speed. Let me address another issue. I saw Professor Pattison here. I don't know if Prof is still with us, or Prof may have. I wanted to tell him again, thanks for the work that he has done in the Education Transformation Commission. And I've given him more work to do in reviewing the Heart Trust NSTA and reviewing TechVoc training and so forth. And that work is continuing because in addition to the urgent emergency actions that we need to take to bridge the skill and labor gap, there is a longer term perspective that we need to ensure that we are actually turning out and embedding skills, 21st century skills, in students coming right throughout at all levels of the education system, and building an education system that ensures that you have technical training in a lifelong way in our society. So that is ongoing. As it relates to the National Education Transformation Report, and I've seen some articles being written about not enough is being said. You know, it always is very frustrating. Doesn't there come a time when you stop talking about something and just do it? You want us to be just talking eternally. This is not the first study being done. You can get 100 experts to talk you out all day about what needs to be done. Well, what will distinguish this government and me as Prime Minister is that we get things done. We get things done. So if you want to go talk all day, that's your business. You go on and go talk all day. Listen to you, hear what you have to say. Listen to you, hear what you have to say. But at some point, the Jamaican culture must change to say, let's get something done. Let's do something. If that were the culture when we did the first transformation report, we wouldn't be back here now. We wouldn't be back here now talking about transformation and the problems in the education system. So talk all you want to talk. We are going to get things done. And this is proof of the concept that we can get things done, we can get them done quickly, we can get them done efficiently, and we can get them done meaningfully. Because the most important thing here is not what I am saying, it's not what Prof has said, not what you think in the audience, is what they feel. And when I look at their faces and I feel their handshake and receiving their awards, they feel accomplished. They have achieved something. Their life is now more meaningful than it was before they started. And if we can replicate this right throughout the society, we will change our society. And that is what I'm about. And that is what this government is about. It is a difficult time. Many challenges around the world. But Jamaica has stood up and we have fared well. And we continue to do, even in the difficult times, we continue to achieve. Do not be dismayed. Do not despair. Just look at the achievement and the smiles on the graduates' faces.
Tell you, the man be dropping nuggets and gems and bombs. But we appreciate the frankness, because sometimes when we beat around the bush and we go around, we absolutely don't get anything done. So we thank him for the leadership. As I listened to the PM, who was our keynote speaker, these are the 10 A's These are the 10 A's that I am walking away with as my takeaways. Aptitude, the capacity, the ability for something, that's the skill, that's the talent. The attitude, the manner, the disposition, the orientation, attention to detail and problem solving. The application of the knowledge, because to apply, as the Prime Minister said, you need to do, you need to execute, you need to implement. Adaptability, the ability to adjust to different circumstances and situations and conditions. Agility, efficiency and nimbleness. Alignment, relevance to meet the needs of industry. Accessibility, inclusion, regardless of disabilities or backgrounds. Again, fantastic job being done by Digital Foundation. Association, partnership and collaboration. And the last 10 is the audacity, the boldness to dare to do something differently. Those were my key takeaways. I'm sure you might have had others, but when I listened to the Prime Minister speak, those are the ones that I was able to walk away with. Ladies and gentlemen, another round of applause for our fearless leader, the Prime Minister of Jamaica. So the last item on our program is the vote of thanks. And I welcome Shanika Lewis and Richard Wilson, students of the Amber Heart Academy. Please make them welcome.
The Most Honorable Andrew Holness, Prime Minister of Jamaica, the Honorable Favour Williams, Minister of Education and Youth, Mr. Hugh Graham, Shadow Minister, Commerce, Science and Technology, the Honorable Masukai Rongsong and Mrs. Rongsong, Ambassador High Commission of India, Mr. Dushan Savadea and Mrs. Katrina Savadea, founder and CEO of the Amber Group, Professor Alvin Wint and Mrs. Novelet Denton Prince, Chairman, Heart NSTA Trust and Managing Director of Heart NSTA Trust, Mrs. Jean Laurie Chin, Chairman, Digital Foundation, Mr. Jabor Kemov, CEO of the Digital Group, Mrs. Thalia Lin, Chairman, NCB Foundation, Mrs. Nadine Matthews Blair, Chief Digital and Marketing Officer of NCB, Akeem Henry, our valedictorian, other stakeholders, parents, graduates, friends of the media, and those of us joining online, good evening. On behalf of the Amber Group and Heart NSTA Trust, today we will be proposing the vote of thanks to the individuals who made this groundbreaking event possible.
This graduation is the first of its kind, and today it is our privilege to stand here to acknowledge the contribution of each individual.
First, we would like to express gratitude to our Prime Minister, the Most Honorable Andrew Holness. We want to thank you for supporting this initiative, which has put Jamaica one step forward to becoming a technology and innovation hub. Our words may never be capable of expressing our sincere gratitude to the keynote speaker, our Prime Minister. He gave us a charge to never forget the importance of having a skill versus having only education that may be confined to a piece of paper. At the Amber Heart Academy, we are trained not only to be skilled coders, but also to be great team players. With the right attitude. With that said, I encourage youths across Jamaica to take the initiative to apply and learn a skill that could possibly change your life.
Secondly, we want to thank the founder and Chief Executive Officer of the Amber Group Limited, Mr. Dushan Savadia, who conceptualized the vision of creating a coding academy and made it into a reality. He did so by collaborating with the Heart NSTA Trust, Hope, National Commercial Bank, and Digicel, giving many youths across the island the opportunity to learn coding.
Special thanks to the prestigious Heart NSTA Trust, to the Board of Directors, Managing Director, Deputy Managing Director, and Strategic Partnership, Research and Innovation Department. We want to say a big thank you. To our Director Principal, Ms. Nicole Berry, Institution Manager, Ms. Bernadette Robinson, Program Coordinator, Mrs. Arthanet Thomas, and other members of the Stony Hill campus, a big thank you for always being there for us.
We would also like to express our sincere gratitude to Ruchita Tripathi, Technical Coordinator of the Amber Heart Academy, to our teachers, trainers, and other members of the Amber Group. Thanks for a job well done. You have not only taught us coding skills, but you have also impacted our lives significantly.
To our Masters of Ceremonies, Dr. Terry Carell Reed. Thank you for anchoring today's ceremony.
We thank our planning team, Dynamic Event Services, and all good hearts who've worked assiduously to ensure that this event becomes a memorable success.
Last but not the least, I want to give a warm thank you to all the distinguished invitees who have taken the time out to join us in celebrating our success.
Therefore, we invite you to stand with us for the reason we are all here to salute, celebrate, and share in this milestone for our esteemed graduates. Please join in applauding us graduates for a job well done in being resilient, overcoming obstacles to be here today, celebrating our success.
You may be seated. And our wish is for us graduates to pursue our future goals and our aspirations. Thank you all for sharing this afternoon with us and making this event memorable. Thank you.
Thank you so very much. I wonder how many times you guys try to get the thank you at the right time. Hasn't this been a wonderful evening? Like, it's hope, it's promise, it's potential. It's so lovely to be here. Finally, I just want to add to their thank you to the parents and the guardians. Wherever you find youths that may not have resources and may not have funding and may not have money, a lot of the times you have parents and guardians who are pushing them, who are making sacrifices and trying to do their utmost so that they can do better. And so to the parents and the guardians, you know the struggles, you know the challenges, but you are still here, and your presence and your involvement, it's absolutely important for them. And I applaud you and I salute you, because any certificate them get are your certificates. That brings us to the end of this graduation ceremony, Amber Heart Academy, but we also just want to say it is the beginning of the Amber Heart Institute of Coding. Ladies and gentlemen, travel home safely. Thank you so very much. It has been a pleasure serving you. Take care.